Now comes the time to select a spout and a handle and attach them to the teapot. So what I do is I put the lid on the teapot so that I know how high, or not to put this up too high, how high it should go, or again, not to put it up too high. I want the spout to be above where the fluid is going to be, the maximum place where the fluid is going to be in the teapot. Because if I were to put this down here, when you put water in here, it's going to start dribbling out. So it's got to be up, it's got to be high, and I know that this is going to be changed a little bit. I'm going to have to cut some clay away from the spout where it's going to contour with the teapot. And I normally pretty much just eyeball that, because as you can see, it's really close. Another thing that can be done is to put a coil down here, and sometimes you might want to do both. But I will, once I decide which spout, and I think I've pretty much chosen this one, I figure out exactly where I'm going to put it. Sometimes you'll find like there's a little blemish right there. Well, that's a really great place to cover up. That's just a little crumb of clay, but let's hide it. Let's get rid of it. And I'm going to lightly mark where the spout is going to go on the teapot. You can just about see it. I want that to be really faint. In case I change my mind, it's easier to erase on clay. But in the meantime, I've got something so I know where that's going to be. And then I have to select my handle. I've already chosen this handle as the one that I think looks best on the side of the pot. One thing about a side-handled teapot is the urge is to put this handle at a 90-degree angle from the spout. That's what you think would be right. Unfortunately, that doesn't work as well as we would think, and you actually need to put this at about an 89-degree. And I'm not getting out a protractor or any tools like that to measure that. I'm just going to figure out what 90 degrees is, and then just bring it a little bit further towards the spout, and it'll pour nicer. It'll handle nicer when you're trying to pour it, essentially. I'm not sure what the physics behind that is, or if anybody really cares, but this will be installed the same way. I'm going to have to trim off a little bit on either side for the curve of the pot, and then we're just going to slip and score. One thing that you absolutely want to remember to do is, once you've determined that this is the spout that you're going to use and that it's in the exact right position, then what you want to do is make your holes for your tea to come through the side before you attach the spout. And when you make the holes, you want to think about how you're going to be using it. If you're going to be using it with loose leaf tea, you don't want to leave a large opening. You want to leave some really small holes, but you don't want them to be like pin tool size, because they will get filled with glaze and then the tea won't pour out. So a good rule of thumb is to keep the hole for the holes in the side of the pot about this same size, which was the back of the needle tool, and again it's the back of my little hardware store brush. I think I found this in the plumbing department. Anyway, I'm not going to go through each step on this video, but I will pause the video for a moment, do the work, and come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, I've made the holes and I've trimmed the spout so it sits flusher, and of course when I attach it, this will all get cleaned up with the slipping and scoring and attaching. And you may notice that now the spout actually sits a little bit higher, and if you look at the teapot without the lid, you know no fluid is going any higher than this, and more than likely it's not going any higher than this. So it's definitely well below the spout, which is good. So when somebody starts pouring it, even if it's filled all the way to the top, when they first start pouring it, it's not immediately going to spill out. There's going to be a slight pause while it's turning. I've also made the holes here with my brush tool. Now I'm taking this tool and I'm going to just clean those out a little bit. And I'll get them from the inside again also when it's bone dry. I'll just take one of those green scrubbies and clean that out, because you can see there's some crumbs, and we don't want that. That's something that's going to be ugly inside the teapot, and it could also catch tea and tea leaves and things like that and make it a little bit more difficult to clean. I also cut curve to fit the side of the pot for the handle, and this will be filled in with a coil once I'm in the midst of doing the attaching and doing the slipping and scoring there, so that there's not a really sharp edge here. I want it to blend in nicely with the teapot body. Again, it's at a little bit less than a 90-degree angle, and it's up just a little bit from a 90-degree angle off the side. That would be down here, and that just seems a little awkward to me. So here's the teapot with the spout and the handle attached. I will let it dry with the lid on it. As you can see, the lid fits nicely. It's far enough below the handle that it's not hitting, or the spout that it's not hitting. The spout is coming off to the side at about an 89-degree angle, and not quite a 90-degree angle this way either, off the side. I've already trimmed the foot on it, so it's pretty light and ready for any surface decoration that I might want to do here pre-bisque. And that will probably be Mishima, which I hope to do a video on also. So look for that on the Future Relics YouTube channel. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them in comments or send me an email, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Thanks for watching.